Hello, I'm Phil Lanzon and I'm here to talk to you about me. Not wanting to be one-sided, of course, but I just need to tell you a few things just to bring you in line. I'm part of a rock band called Uriah Heep. The Uriah Heep has been going for over 50 years now, since 1970, since its inception. We've toured the world. We've been to over half the countries on the planet, and there's a lot of them, and been to very many strange places and met some very interesting people. So over the years, I can't complain. It's been a wonderful ride, and like I say, it was the 50th anniversary was last year. That's the cover of the presentation box set, which celebrates the 50 years. It's all CDs and albums and books, booklets inside. And yeah, so that's Uriah Heep. That's my touring band, and hopefully we'll be getting back to touring soon. Anyway, apart from that, I have my own solo albums, which I released a couple of years ago. This one's called If You Think I'm Crazy. I've used an orchestra and choir on my own stuff because I like a big sound, I like a dramatic sound. That's my second album, 48 Seconds, which commemorates the San Francisco earthquake of 1906. So those are on alongside my artworks, which I do a lot of. I'm an abstract painter as well. I have my solo albums and my artwork are all on my website, phillanzon.com, and then go to shop at the top there, shop, and there will be all my artworks, my books and my albums are all on that part of the site. So feel free to have a look whenever. So it's good. So while travelling around the world, I had been writing little bits and pieces because being a songwriter generally lends itself into story writing for some people. Well, it did for me anyway. And on the road, I'd written lots of little short stories. This is my short story book, Strange and Wonderful Stories. And it's got my artwork on the front there and on the back. And they're just very short stories about strange things, all written while I'm on the road. So you get busy while you're travelling as well. But out of all that came the beginning of my first novel, Curse of the Mudchalk Devil on Pegasus. This was my first one. It's part of a trilogy called The Evil with a Thousand Faces. Now, it took quite some time to write because I'd had different characters in there. As a first book, I'd had lots of different characters coming in and going out, and I was changing my mind. Excuse me. And I spend a lot of time on the road, so of course sometimes I'd drop it for about a month or two. Anyway, years went by and years went by. It took nearly 20 years to get it published, when I was happy enough with it to be published. So it's about Ellen, whose ability to see as well as music is something that she uses. It's a talent that she uses in order to dispel the disharmony that engulfs her world. So she sees the bad things that are going on and wants to do something about it. And the visible music talent that she has is what she uses. But I'll say no more than that. It carries on. The second book is called Snowdrop Diamonds, also on Pegasus, the second book of the trilogy. And Snowdrop Diamonds are actual snowdrops with diamonds in them that are able to do magic, and alongside the visible music and the Snowdrop Diamonds, Ellen has some weapons with her to be reckoned with. The third book is called The Cask of the Alchemists, and it is on the conveyor belt at Pegasus at the moment, going through the procedure towards publication, which no doubt will be next year sometime. So that's the books. What inspired me to write the books? Well, I've got a pretty big family myself, and I have always thought that children don't quite get listened to enough at the right times. I don't mean all the time, because kids are demanding, parents are busy. Obviously, there's going to be some a lack of communication somewhere along the line. It's not a criticism. It's a fact. It happens. So I thought that I would use children as my focal point, and I would give them power. I would give them a little more power than normal. That's why Ellen, my main character, is able to see as well as hear music. And the source of that power and talent, which is hers, comes from a passion flower. And it's the passion flower right at the beginning of the first book you will read about that starts her journey. And that's as far as I will say. So that's the books. When I'm not writing, what am I doing? Oh, I'm down at the beach because we've got a beautiful sandy beach, and I often go there because, well, obviously it's very near the shop that we own. We have a little herbal apothecary, and my partner runs the apothecary. She's a herbalist, and therefore she has patients, and it's also a retail shop. So I spend a lot of time there and on the beach, which is 2 yards away from the shop, which is very handy. And right now, or today, it's so sunny and warm, I think the beach will be packed. But anyway, I digress. Yes, there are 3 books. I think what you learn when you're writing is the closeness to your characters. You start off with them, and you're feeling your way with them, and eventually you become them, or you become their friend, and you travel the road with them. And I think that's what helps you as well, because you're starting to, see their characters from within, because it's your pen on paper and it's coming out there, and you're feeling something there, and that's what leads you on as well. That's what gives you movement and inspiration as well. What makes a good story? Oh, great question. Well, it's got to hook you in quite clearly, like songs. Like with a song, you get hooked in by the music, the melody. It does something to you, and you like it because you do. It's something that comes from, I can never really explain where it comes from, but it comes from the ether, I guess, and tells you that this is something that relates to you. And so, the same with books. That's what makes a good book. You get caught in the first few lines, paragraph or whatever at the beginning of the book, and it makes you read on. It makes you turn the page. And it's a passionate thing or an emotive thing. It relates. The word on the page relates with you in here, and that's what makes it work. If it doesn't relate with you in here, it's gone. Next. What did I want to be when I grew up? Well, happy, I suppose. Yeah. I wanted to be an archaeologist. I wanted to dig holes and find out about old things and what people did back then, and I suppose that was a fascination. And then I changed my mind and wanted to be an artist. And then one day my mum made me have piano lessons. Phew, right turn, Clive, off I went. So that's what happened then. Do I hide any secrets in my books and my stories? Yes, I do, but I'm not telling you. So that's the answer to that one. Advice to young authors. Well, they don't have to be young. They can be any age, can't they? Young or old or middle aged, doesn't matter. You can take pen to paper when you're 90. It doesn't make any difference. The inspiration is the thing. You need to have, obviously you need something to write about, and doing your best to avoid cliches, which is the hardest thing for any writer. I defy anyone to say otherwise. And it must be passionate. It must be something that's emotive to you personally. It doesn't mean you have to have experienced it. It just means you have to have observed it. And that is the thing. Passionate about something that you need to get down on paper. That's it. I didn't mention my... Oh no, I did mention my short stories. Well, I'm plugging them again. There you go. So, website, phillanzon.com. Go to shop at the top bar there where the menu is. Click on that and you'll see all my artworks, all the books. Well, you'll see the first 2 books because the third one's being in the process of publishing. The trilogy is called The Evil with 1,000 Faces. And I think I should sign off. I think I've talked long enough, don't you? Anyway, nice to talk to you anyway, and happy reading and happy writing. Bye for now.